Ensign Key Games. Oh, they have a title. I saw it. I got interested. Now let me tell you about it. Galactic Cruise. This is for 1 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, and should take you about 90 to 150 minutes to play. Hello, and welcome to Galactic Cruise. Here we offer our guests something special, the comfort of a luxury cruise with the innovation of space travel. As the first company to offer extended stay space vacations, we are excited to have you working for us. As a supervisor of this company, you will be expected to not only build these shuttles and satisfy our guests, but also to help the company thrive by enhancing our company's network, inventing new technologies, and growing our workforce. We are a united company, and you'll often find that what another supervisor does will make your job easier. Let me be clear, though, this is a competition. The supervisor who comes out on top will become CEO of this company. On your turn, you will either place a worker or take 2 actions in the ever-expanding network. Launch a shuttle and send one of your workers to space as a pilot. Or recall all your Earthbound workers to collect funding bonuses. Actions include acquiring blueprints, constructing shuttles, attracting guests, and building developments. Connections between locations that increase action selection throughout the game. You will also be affecting resource markets that ebb and flow with the actions of all the players. When you launch a shuttle, one of your workers will accompany it as a pilot, navigating the shuttle to various destinations and days in space, where guests will reward you for all of your hard work. Throughout the game, you will also be competing with your fellow supervisors to compete company goals, which will earn your progress cubes throughout the game. The progress cubes are also placed when you launch shuttles, and when a certain number of cubes are placed onto the company's progress track, the game ends, and the player with the most victory points becomes the new CEO of Galactic Cruise. Do you still think you have what it takes to work for us? You do! Great! Then let's get started. That was a very, in-game narrative, a sort of, a little short story that they had put together there. But the publisher does get it clear what the game is about through all this. And I kind of liked it. It did catch my attention, maybe because it was a little bit of a story format. Maybe because it's sci-fi based. And it's a sci-fi based game that has nothing to do with blasting aliens or corrupting places. This is simply about nice, relaxing space cruises. So that's something different. Usually most sci-fi games are a lot more combative, and destructive to planets. So this seemed like a fresh breath of air in the sci-fi board gaming community to me. And as I always state when this is a thing, I love it when games that are multiplayer have a one-player option. You know, you never know when your buddies can't make it. Or maybe just a chance to play a game through on your own, to learn how it's played, to better explain it when your buddies show up. There's a lot of reasons why multiplayer games benefit for adding in the one-player option, and I'm so glad to see more games like this one that are doing it. Now, something I read from the reviewers I don't quite understand, maybe getting the game and playing it I'll understand better, but it did sound very interesting to me, was the fact that there seems to be no wasted turns, as they say in this game. Like, sometimes you play a game and you just can't do anything in your turn, so you just have to pass. And that sucks. Everyone hates having to pass on your turn and you're not doing anything, because it's taking you one step further away from winning the game if you can't do anything. But from what I'm reading from a few of the reviewers about this, is that there is no wasted turns in this game. So, I'm not sure how they do it, but I absolutely love the sound of that. Another thing I like, I don't know if you like, maybe you do, maybe you don't, but I like modular boards. And this is a game that has a modular board in it. In fact, this modular board, they're saying that there's like different tiles, different levels to it, different ways to experience the board in order to help for replayability. Something else I want to delve more into, I want to learn more into, because it really sounds interesting more than just a double-sided board to help you with replayability. It sounds like they're onto some interesting things here. The game's art looks really fun. I like the components to the game. I like the way they did the meeples. This is like a little small little note, but I like the way they did the meeples. Some of them have like little children painted on them, and others have their little workman outfits, and some of them are like holding a martini or some sort of drink in their hand, like they're having a good party of a time. So these little touches on the components, they help. They really do. They could have just made them normal looking, just like all the workers yellow and all the drinkers green, maybe, the ones with kids blue. But no, they didn't. They didn't. They went that extra little step, and that means something. So that's why I'm pointing it out. Thank you for doing it. So the other thing, another thing is this living market that they have going on in the game, where it's going to be ebbing and flowing depending on the way you work the market, what resources you're using, you're taking. I like that. It's living, it's breathing. As the game is playing, it is changing and evolving. And this in itself is going to keep your strategy changing and evolving. Excellent to keep you on your toes. I think that if you're looking for a game with a different take on sci-fi board game fun, yet is going to give you a good sense of strategy, some deep plotting and planning that's going to be needed, as well as, on-the-fly shifting of what you're doing. This is the kind of game you're going to want to look a little further into. So don't listen to me or any of the floating heads. I think the best way to determine if you're going to like a game is find some playthroughs of it. Watch those, and those are the best ways to determine, I think, if you're going to like a game or not. So go, get some more information, maybe watch some playthroughs on Galactic Cruise.